Hey, what's up? So I want to share the a gold lesson, a gold standard lesson from Top Golf. And uh, and even if you don't know what Top Golf is, you will find that this lesson is absolutely game changing. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a speaker and coach, quite honestly, regardless of who I've worked with in business, this has been one of those lessons that you absolutely positively need to master, really, really need to master, or it's just not going to work out in business. And I'm even going to grab my handy dandy workbook here as we go through it. So check it out. So back like in 2000, Top Golf been around since like 2000, but back in like 2012 and then even more so in 2016, um, there was an interview done by, I can't remember who it was, but he was on ESPN. So I'm going to say this had to be around the 2016 timeframe. And they were talking to the owner of Top Golf. And the gentleman who was doing the interview talked to the owner of Top Golf at the time, which, by the way, it had like maybe 3 to 5 locations, one of them being in Texas. And he was talking to this guy about Top Golf, was like, first of all, what is this crap? Like, listen, you have putt golf, you have driving ranges, and you have golf. Putt golf is for your family. Driving ranges is when you want to go out there and you want to practice your swing. And golf is for golfers. He's very clear about that. And so, who in the hell is going to be playing this Top Golf thing? So what, you got this driving range thing going, you got billiards tables downstairs, you got a bar, people can come up here and they can eat and hang out and drink. There are no golf claps at the line. It's a little loud, it's a little noisy. There's TVs up here, there's fans blowing, you got waiters and waitresses. This isn't golf. This isn't golf. And he asked the guy, do you honestly think Tiger Woods is coming out here to practice a swing? And I remember the owner, the CEO at the time of Top Golf, looking straight in the camera and going, absolutely not. But we didn't build this for Tiger Woods. I was like, oh, what a bold statement to say, right? At the time, Tiger Woods is like the top golfer in the world. But he straight up was like, we didn't build this for Tiger Woods. He goes, we built this for a completely underserved and actually unserved market. This is for the woman who wants to come out here and she wants to learn how to golf and she wants to hang out with her friends. And she maybe get a coach, maybe not. This is for the guy who wants to come out here with his buddies and maybe have a couple of drinks and hit a few balls and have some fun. This isn't just about hitting the ball as far as you possibly can. This is about playing some very strategic games along the way. And so they were crystal clear that Top Golf wasn't for. Lesson 1, disqualify people who are not your ideal client. Lesson 2, do not try to serve everybody. Try to serve somebody. They weren't looking for top professional golfers. They weren't even looking for sponsorships from top professional golfers. They were an entertainment and video gaming industry kind of company that basically took what you played on your Wii, took Wii Golf and made it live and fun. And they're like, it's for people who don't necessarily know how to golf, who want to come out and figure out a little something about golf and have fun doing it. I have events all the time. And one of the first things I do is I take my clients and I'm like, we're going to go to Top Golf. And they're like, I don't know how to golf. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Do you know how to eat? Right? You know how to eat? Do you know how to hold a club? We'll figure it out along the way. And some of my clients, it's their very first time ever touching a golf club, but they have a blast. The guy was complaining, well, how is Top Golf going to, serve people in the Northeast when it snows 9 months out of the year? He goes, it's not our ideal client. It's not our target market. Know who your ideal client is. Know who your target market is. Kick everyone else to the curb. It's that simple. Now, here's why I thought this was so interesting. So that was this 2022. That was around 2016. And one of the thing, yes, I do love talking smack when I play Top Golf. Somebody just wrote that comment, but let me tell you one of the coolest things that I noticed the other day when I went to Top Golf. So here it is, Saturday morning. It's 10 a.m. Top Golf is just opening. I'm in the car with my chief sales officer. We go to Top Golf and people are waiting outside. And I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. You know, we're over here in Tampa. Yeah, people always wait to be the first when the doors open. We walk in around 10:15 because I have to finish up the client call. Go inside at 10:15. There is a line. There is a wait to get a bay. It is now absolutely impossible to get a bay without waiting 90 minutes at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. This is for a company that people predicted was going to go out of business because they weren't serving golfers. They were serving people like you and me. Yeah, I'm saying you because you know what? I guarantee you're not a scratch golfer. Anyway, what happened was all of a sudden this company has skyrocketed. Don't even think about going on a Friday or a Saturday night in the Tampa in Orlando area and getting a bay without waiting 90 minutes year round. Year round. They have a waiting list of people who are not top golfers. And just in case you're wondering, like, okay, so who goes? Their ideal client. People like me who, listen, before Top Golf, I didn't golf at all. I love to go to Top Golf. And funny is I don't really enjoy going golfing, but I love going to Top Golf. And I have clubs, but I don't love going golfing. And I know how to golf. So there are people like me. People who started off not even knowing what to do with the golf club. Literally. Like my version of playing Top Golf was picking up the ball and throwing it. Right? And now I have my own clubs, and I bought my clubs just for Top Golf. I don't even go out to the golf course. I take my clients and I'm like, come on, I'll show you how to hold the golf club. You hit for a couple of times, you'll get it started. Yeah, if they wanted to do it right, they'd make Top Golf with an escape room experience. That would be epic. But the lesson for you, if you're an entrepreneur, is this. And this actually comes from my workbook. So I have this workbook called Craft, Launch, and Fill because we teach people how to fill their high ticket offers. And when we start talking about your dream client, one of the things the one part that we talk about is this. I want you to imagine that you're Top Golf and ask the question, what was going on in the industry first? Because that's what they did first. And that's what I want you to do. What's going on in the industry that they're doing that you could do differently? I do this all the time with my clients. And I'm like, so what is everybody else doing? Now, what are you going to do that's different? That's exactly what they did. This is what golf is, and this is who it serves. This is what this is, and this is who it serves. And how do we put together what they're doing right, and how do we take away what they're not doing, and then how do we serve this other market? And when you look at that other market, the first thing you should ask yourself is, what's going on in their world today that would make them get their ass in their car and drive to your venue? What is going on in their world that would make them pick up their phone, dial your number, and call you? What is happening? It's not that they're broken, it's busted. I just want to point out that Top Golf never, ever talked about their clients as being broke, busted, in the tank, having a shitty day. No, you know how they describe their customer? Like this. Our ideal client falls into 3 categories. It's families with kids who want to go out and do something outdoors that's fun that the whole family can enjoy. Number 1, they're going to be our afternoon clients. Number two, women. Women who really want to get out and just have a good time with the girls. You know what? They're going to come at night, but they're also going to come in the day. What was cool is when I was at this Topgolf, there was a whole event of this women's group. I think it was called LYCC, and they were taking up about 4 bays, which meant there had to be about 20 to 30 people with them if they were taking up that many bays, right? Women. He goes, not necessarily women golfers, women. And then number 3, our ideal client is going to be men. Not necessarily men golfers, but men who want to come out. They want to hang out with the boys. They want to have a good time. They want to have a few drinks. They want to watch the game. They want to hang out at the bar. Not one time did they go, people who are professional golfers that are crushing it on the golf course that want it. No. They truly identified what was going on in the world of their ideal client. What is going on in your ideal client's world that makes them actually pick up the phone and call you? And it's not because they're broke, busted, and out of time and out of money. It's not. My ideal client is a winner. My ideal client is Tom Brady right before he won his first Super Bowl. That's my ideal client. I work with winners. I work with winners who they're gonna win. They just have this one thing that's stopping them. How would you describe your ideal client? And what is going on in their world that makes them pick up the phone and call you? First question you have to ask yourself. What is the spark? What is the catalyst that makes them call you? That's the first thing you want to know. Second thing is, what have they already achieved? What have they already done in their world that is epic already? My ideal clients, they're experts they know their shit like nobody's business. They're already crushing it like nobody's business. And they have this one little hurdle that they just need a Sherpa to kind of guide them in the right direction. But they have this one little hurdle that is kicking their butt. And it's not going to kick their butt for long because they're getting after it. They're going after that one little hurdle. So the first question is, so what's going on in your ideal client's world? Second question, what have they achieved? What have they achieved already? What have they already done before they came to the table? They've already done something. What is that? What have they done that makes them the perfect client for you? Third question, where are they? Where are they? And for God's sakes, get from behind your damn keyboard. Where are they? Are they in a specific association that you should now be a member of? Are they at certain events? Are they at certain conferences? What is the target rich environment? Not just target market. Target market. Everybody talks about target market. What about the target rich environment? Where is that target rich environment that you're going to find a multitude of your ideal client? Where is that? Because that's where you want to be. And then, who are they? This is where you get a little specific. You know, what I loved about when TopGolf did theirs, they put not golfers. Like they just straight up not golfers. Now, what I think is so funny is you have golfers that go there quite often now, right? You see them walking in and they usually go to the top bays, especially down here in Florida. And they usually try to get the edge bays because those are quieter bays. That's usually where they'll go and hang out. And there'll usually be a whole group of them together and they're very serious about what they're doing. But when you ask TopGolf who are they? They put not golfers. They disqualify. How are you disqualifying your ideal client? I already told you my ideal client is badass. They're a coach. They're a speaker. They're an entrepreneur. They already have clients. They're already crushing it with those clients. They're doing really well. And what they really want to do is they want to be able to now craft high ticket and ultra high ticket offers and they want help doing that. And by the way, high ticket and ultra high ticket is really based on who your target market is. Ultra high ticket is obviously all the way at the top end of your target market, right? But you really want to know who you need to answer these 4 questions to be crystal clear about who your ideal client is. Because until you know who your ideal client is, you're not going to be able to truly get your services to them. Here are the other 2 questions that I think are my favorites. What are my dream clients' objections? What are their objections? What roadblock are they running into? And what have they already tried to move past it? There is something they already tried. A lot of times my ideal clients, they'll tell me straight up, like, Donna, I've tried putting on master classes. I've tried doing challenges. I've tried just raising my rates. I've tried doing all those things. They didn't work. I'm tired of being the best kept secret, right? And so they'll have a list of things that are their objections, things that they've already tried. They're like, girl, been there, done that, got the ugly t-shirt, don't want to do that again. Right? So what are some of the objections that your ideal client is going to have when they're going to work with you? Right? And then the other one is, what are their misbeliefs? So I have this woman who I work with who runs a real estate coaching company. And specifically what she does is she works with she works with people who have money to invest. Usually they have money they're taking out of their 401k or something like that, and they want to put it in real estate. Usually around $25,000. She works a lot with women, and they don't know enough about real estate, and they have no idea how to really become an investor. Like, they don't know the ins and outs of being an investor. They don't know how to use trust. They don't know any of those things. It's, all those words are foreign to them. And so when we put this together and she puts her dreams clients' objections, the first thing they go is, I don't have time to learn all of this stuff. I don't have time to do all of it. I have 25,000. I don't have more money than $25,000 to put into this. Right. So they have real objections. And then she'll say, well, what are their misbeliefs? Sometimes their misbelief is, I have to have absolutely perfect credit. I can only get a property that I can afford by myself. Like, they have these real beliefs. Or I have to go in and buy a really expensive property for this to work out. Or I have to be able to buy and sell a property or immediately, or I can't buy below market in a seller's market. Like, those are their real misbeliefs. She actually handles all of those objections when she's talking to them in those misbeliefs. So she has those laid out. What are your ideal clients' objections and misbeliefs? And how do you crush those immediately? Here's another one. Priorities. People get this wrong all the time. What are your ideal clients' priorities? There are 4 different priorities: notoriety, time, money, and effort. Do they want it easier? That's effort, right? Do they want a formula? Do they want step by step? Is that the most important thing to them? And then they will make things go faster and make the money and get known? Or do they're like, no, if I get known, I can make the money? Do they want notoriety? Are they looking like, listen, I just want to know how to make the money, right? If it's complicated, whatever, I'll give you money and we'll figure it out from them. Are they just throwing money at you and they want you to do the rest? Usually people who have money intensive are looking for done for you services. What is your ideal client's priorities? You have to know what drives them. Because if you go and you start talking to someone and their priority is time, and you're talking to them about being well-known and famous, they might be going, whoa, the last thing I want to do is be well-known and famous. I just want to do things faster. Right? So you got to know what their priorities are. What are their priorities? When I talk to speakers, a lot of times they're like, I just want to be on stages. I just want to get on more stages. Okay, so you want to be, and I just want my phone to ring because people recognize my name. Okay, then you're looking for notoriety. You have to know specifically what your ideal client is looking for, and you want to use the type of language that causes them to want to work with you. When I talk to people and they're struggling in this area, I know that they're not leveraging the lessons from TopGolf. They're not niching down, identifying who their ideal client really is, and then not only not identifying who their dream client is, but disqualifying anyone who's not their dream client. I've had people literally tell me, if someone has enough money for my service, they are my dream client. And I'm like, if all they have is enough money for my service, then they're probably a nightmare client. And that's not what I'm looking for at all. Right. And so that's the other thing that you have to know. I love this. So this person wrote, I think a lot of times we're scared not to go with what the go with the flow of what other people are doing. Woo. Ain't that the truth? I'm going to share this with you. This is one of my favorite quotes. I wrote it in here. So I know it's going to sound really egotistical right now because I wrote it in here and it's actually my quote, but it is one of my favorite quotes. It's also my secret sauce to success. And it simply says, when I do things that are over my head and out of my financial reach that I don't have time for, and I do it anyway, the teacher appears, the money manifests itself, and my schedule will work out. Lack of money, time, and ability are excuses that manifest a lack of time, money, and ability. Take the risk, the rest will come. If you're so busy following what everyone else is doing, you're going to get what everyone else is getting. And since 98% of the people are complaining about making, mortgage payments at the gas station, they probably are having a hard time financially affording gas. That is absolutely not who I am. That is not what I'm chasing. I only just recently found out the gas prices were going up. I'm not saying that as a brag. I'm saying that is because I don't focus on things I can't control. I focus on the controllables and I make the best out of those things and I move full speed ahead with them. And I know right now I'm probably pissing people off like, how dare she not complain about the gas prices? What you heard was my full-fledged complaint. That was it, that I just found out that they went up. And I don't give a shit. For me. For other people, it matters for them and God bless them and I hope they figure it out. But I live in a world of abundance and guess what? I know when I go to the gas station, it'll work itself out. And if it doesn't work itself out, I'll get an electric car. And if that doesn't work itself out, I'll get a bike. And if that doesn't work itself out, I continue to work from home. But I will find a solution that's right for me and for what I do. Because I live in a world of abundance. I cannot control the uncontrollable and there's no need in bitching about it. That was my small tangent. Anyway, but you really do want to live in this world where you're taking the risk. So yes, so many times people are scared of going away from the flow, of stepping out and doing something that other people aren't doing. But other people are in the 98%. And the 98% ain't doing very well. So why don't you do what the 2% are doing? And they do what they're not going with the flow. They're creating their own flow state. So I'm going to share that with you and then I'm going to close. Only because it hit me as soon as I saw this going with the flow thing. I'm going to put this from Donna. Donna said, I love that. I took it out of my workbook and posted it. Girl, and it is what I live by. It is what I live by. Let me tell y'all, Donna Cutting is absolutely amazing. She works with organizations to help them create this, she has this club, by the way, called the Red Carpet Culture Club. And she helps people really re-energize enthusiasm within their organization, increase customer loyalty in their organization, and keep that top talent happy and enthusiastic. I mean, she is absolutely amazing at what she does. So please check out Donna Cutting. And Donna, if you can, put your URL so I can type it up, so I can pop it up in here. Let me tell you a little bit about flow state. And it is what I live in. It is what I coach my clients through. There are two states of being. One state is flow state. The other state is what I call barrier state, right? And I don't mean roadblocks you can get around. I mean true barrier state. And have you ever, thank you. She put it right here. There she is, Donna Cutting, Red Carpet Learning. Thank you, Donna. Um, so one of the things that I just got a new job, y'all. I just got a new job. I'm so happy. um, I'm gonna put your URL back up for a second, and then we'll talk about my job. So, have you ever been doing something, and as you're doing that thing, you're running up against a barrier? Like you're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I keep doing it, and I keep struggling and running up into this same roadblock over and over again. And you're just like so frustrated because you can't figure it out. What's happening is that, quite honestly, you're out of what I call flow state. You're lacking clarity and alignment. That's what, and that's not a woo-woo thing. That's a real thing. You're lacking clarity and alignment. When you are clear, when you are 100% clear on what your goal is, and that goal is aligned with who you are and who you want to serve, you will move full steam ahead. And what happens is, and I'm going to use this gentleman I was talking to the other day, who's a CEO. I got to put this up just because it was somebody typed it for me. Yes, disqualify who you're not serving. Don't serve everybody, but serve somebody. So here's what happened, and I really think this is so interesting. So there's a gentleman. He's a young CEO, total badass. His company is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to use his name or his company because of what I'm going to talk about. And one of the things that he was challenged with was he was relegating his expertise and everything that he knows about his company to the background. And meanwhile, what he was doing was he was letting everybody else's expertise come to the foreground. And he said to me, Donna, my executive team would 100% kick the mission to the curve if it meant chasing revenue. And then I go, okay. And he goes, like every time. I said, what'd you hire them for? He goes, well, yeah, I mean, obviously I hired them to chase revenues. And I'm like, okay, so they're doing their job, right? And this is my job as an executive coach, right? So you might be going, she says this to people. This is my job as an executive coach. And I go, so they're doing their job. You hired them to drive revenues, to increase money, right? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, well, they're doing their job. And he goes, well, are you saying I'm not doing my job? And I'm like, are you saying you're not doing your job? I'm like, it's your job to keep the mission and vision at the forefront. It's your job to remind them of the mission and vision. It's your job to ensure that every time you talk to them, that the mission and vision falls out of your mouth. That's your job. It's your job to remind them who your ideal client is. It's your job to remind them the path that you're going. It's your job to make sure they stay on point with these, our vision, our mission, our goals, and here are the people that we serve. That's your job. They're doing their job. You're not doing your job. You have to say your vision so often that it's one of those things. If y'all remember when you were little, and your mom would say something and she would, or your dad or whoever, but they would say it and they would say it and they would say it and they would say it so much that at some point you just started repeating it. In fact, you could repeat it right now if somebody gave you the starting point. I'm like, that's your job. Your job is to say that mission and vision so often that when these people go into a meeting and they start making a decision to increase revenues, that they turn around and go, but wait, because he's going to ask us, how does this revenue increase drive the mission and the vision? So we can't even go this direction until we can answer that question. I'm like, until you are in flow state, don't expect other people to be in flow state. When other people when other people operate without a vision, it becomes challenging for them to follow you and do what you want out of them. Yes, you have to. It is my job. It is my job as the CEO of Firebrand to remind my people every day, twice on Sunday, We help our clients get to 6-figure quarters and then 6-figure months. Does this help them do it? Does putting them in a membership group where they can get answers to their questions instantly, does that help them do it? Does giving them access to an open calendar where they can get on the calendar and talk to me whenever they want to, does that help them do it? Does giving them my cell phone so they can call me when they're stuck, does that help them do it? Does inundating them with too much content help? No, it does not. So the moment that we start doing something that does not help our clients reach the goal of financial freedom from corporate colonization, does over educating them, does dropping, listen, and I see people do this all the time. They take all this content and they're like, I'm just going to inundate. Every day you're going to get an email from me in your inbox every day. I got to tell you the God's honest truth. I run a membership group. I don't have shit to say every day. And quite honestly, I don't want to hear from somebody every day. I don't want to hear from me every day. So when I do put something in the group, it's because it's actually valuable. But what do people do? I'm going to drop something in here every day. I'm going to load it up with more videos for you to watch. I'm going to keep loading you up with content. Every time I turn around, you're going to have some more shit from me. Really? No, that's called confusion and overwhelm. That's what that's called. That does not help you stay in alignment to your goal at all. So it's my job to ensure that my team remembers we have one job and one job only. We work with people who are experts. They're speakers and coaches and entrepreneurs, but they are experts. And our job is to help them get financial freedom from corporate colonization. And how do we do that? We do that all the time by making sure that they have access to the answers that they need at the time that they need them. We make sure that they have access to the answers that they need at the time that they need them all the time. That's what we do. That's what we do. So if that access means that they need my phone, if that access means they need an open calendar, if that access means that they need videos that are very targeted and pointed, then that's what we give them. But we do not inundate. We do not create confusion. We create clarity and alignment because that leads to cash flow. So that's all I got. And thank you for recognizing. I don't know who that is. It says Facebook user because it only gives me Facebook user on some people. And then some people it actually gives me their name, like Donna Cutting, like it gave me her name. I don't know why it does this. I haven't figured that magic out yet. If somebody knows that magic, though, hook a sister up. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Check it out. Go to this URL. Do me a favor. It's called Firebrand. You know what? I'm typing in the wrong spot. Go to firebrandchallenge.net. I'm going to put it up here because I think I could do that. Boom. Go to firebrandchallenge.net. The reason I want you to go there is you can actually get the Craft Launch and Fill workbook that we have. Doesn't cost you anything. You can literally go there and you can download it. Why am I asking you to do this? Because I wouldn't mind if somebody started walking through it and just giving me some information, insights on how it's working for you. That's all. I don't need to do anything else. You don't have to join a challenge. You don't have to get the videos. You don't have to do any of that. Just go download the workbook. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go to firebrandchallenge.net. Oh, what's up, Real? Just go to Firebrand. That's who wrote this. Hey, boo. Anyway, all you got to do is go to firebrandchallenge.net. Grab the book. There it is. Grabo el Buco. It doesn't cost you anything. Just download it. Let me know how it works out for you. Send me a note. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Wait, I got to see what Rudy wrote. Okay, I guess I'll close with that. There you go. Oh, and I'll close with Rudy saying, hi, Auntie. Hi, baby.